Today I'm making Bella Ramsey's official recipe for pesto pastry spirals. With just a few simple ingredients in less than 25 minutes, we're going to have these cheesy, pesto-y vegan treats ready to eat. But are they actually any good, or is this just celebrity hype? I'm not going to lie to you, the ones I made ended up having a very interesting aesthetic, so I think it's worth sticking around to see how they look. But let's get straight into it and make it and taste it. It's time to eat like Bella Ramsey and cook for my vegan wife. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is get a vegan puff pastry sheet and roll it out perfectly on camera as I am doing. Now this recipe is written kind of loosey-goosey with options for variation, so I'm going to make 3 different versions on the same sheet. On this side I'm going to use pesto, and in the middle section it's going to be tomato puree, and then the final section is going to be tomato puree again, but with extra toppings as also suggested by Bella Ramsey. So we'll start with a drizzle of the vegan pesto and then just swirl it around with a spoon, because why not? And by the way, if you're wondering why we looked weird during the intro, it's because this was filmed on Halloween night and we had ourselves a party to go to. And then we'll go for a swizzle of the tomato puree. They say to leave a thumb-sized gap around the edges, and I'm making 3 of these, so I gotta leave a thumb-sized gap around all of them, which is why it kind of looks a bit like a flag at the moment. And as I said before, this thing was super easy, and there's as little as 4 ingredients in this thing, depending on which way you want to make it. But one of the most important ingredients is vegan cheese, so let's top that on like a mofo. They do specifically say to be generous with the toppings, and I will be, don't you worry, I will be. And have you ever gone into a shop and you're looking for a specific ingredient and it's only available in potted plant form? Well, that happened to me today, but at least the basil will be extra fresh. So we'll generously top this on all 3, and here's where things get a little bit different. So I have to go to the chopping board to prepare the extra toppings. The suggested toppings are olives and capers, etc. Now olives are everywhere here, so we'll chop those up, and I couldn't find any capers anywhere. Well, actually I could, but they're just too expensive and I didn't want to bother. But I did have a jar of caper berries in my fridge already, so I'm going to use some of them instead. Hey, look at this one, it's got red in it. Wow. Next we'll take these and put them onto our special one. I also had a bag of pine nuts in my cupboard which Tigris's granny gave to us, and I think they work well here, so I'm going to throw some of them on too because I'm crazy. Throw back to the Gordon Ramsay video there. And we're like 80% done at this point, and I'm just going to read out the method verbatim here because I want your opinion on this. The recipe says to roll up the loaded pastry sheet lengthways until you have a log. Now I think it goes like this, and I asked my wife afterwards and she also thought it would be like this as well. And for some reason rolling it up was far more difficult than I anticipated. It was getting stuck to the paper. It wasn't very tight or anything like that. So I ended up cutting it halfway through the process like this, which actually did make things a whole lot easier. If you're going to make it this way, I suggest doing it that way. But I think I might have been wrong with the rolling because when you cut them, they're just like really micro-sized, especially because in Bella's picture, they look much bigger. Anyway, as you can see, they're kind of falling apart in the baking tray here, but I have faith. They do look very pretty though. I'm happy with how they look right now, like little roses. And they go into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. That can't be right. Well, let's put them in for 15 minutes and see what happens. And if you haven't seen my oven before, let me show you this thing. This is a specimen. This is a sight to behold. And here's what they look like after exactly 15 minutes. They kind of look like I forgot to cook them, but I promise you the oven is on, so we'll go longer. Then after another 10 minutes, they haven't really changed at all. And I don't know what's going on here, but they smell good. The cheese is melty and we've got to go to the party. So I think we've got to serve these up. They have their own kind of visual charm. They're certainly not going to win the awards and the texture might be less than perfect, but let's send them over to me, Lollipop, Little Geordie the Pigeon, and my returning wife Tigris for a taste test. If you don't subscribe for the food, at least subscribe for Coraline. Okay, I think it's time to taste Bella Ramsey's puff pastry pesto spirals. Yeah, they look great. They look kind of weird. My neck is in incredible pain already. I think straighten it. No, I'm committed to the character. We're going to try the ones with pesto first, no? Yeah. You look so like not happy. Okay. He can't hold them because he has gloves. Golden gloves. That's why I'm holding it. It's nice. I actually expect them to be more flavoursome. They're very tasty. I'm actually getting tense because your head is in such a tense position. Like I feel tense. Yeah, I expect them to have more flavour. They are really tasty. Yeah, no, they're really tasty though. The cheese levels are good. The pesto is delicious. Visually, rustic is the politest I can be about them. They look pretty poor. I do take partial responsibility for the visuals because I think I rolled them the wrong way. But in my defense, it wasn't clear. Sorry. Wait, I'm gonna just take them back and then I'll be able to focus. Come on. I'll just hold them like this. Yeah. I was expecting a bit more crispiness and crunchiness, I suppose, or flaky pastry. Oh yeah. I kind of like that they're chewy actually. Yeah. Like I like the You like
I
that
like
kind
the
of
chew.
raw dough kind of flavor.
Yeah, I actually do.
Kind of undercooked kind of vibe.
I think we should try other ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye.
I'm going to surprise myself and say that the tomato puree ones are nicer than pesto. And I absolutely love pesto.
They're more flavorful, but I think they're kind of like more like snackable, the pesto ones.
Yeah, true.
I think I have more. You poor neck.
I think they're both really good so far. Yeah, they're kind of like they're just pizza, basically. You know, tomato, cheese, and basil.
For me,
Pizza.
For me, those ones are actually a little bit like too sour. They
Yeah,
have like
that's
a weird
true.
sourness.
Yeah, true.
I like the pesto ones.
I'll say this as well. There's the exact same amount of cheese on all of them, but the pesto ones taste a lot cheesier.
Cheesier. Yeah, I agree. They're like more like kind of greasy tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nicer. Okay, last ones?
Yeah. We'll go ones. These have the pine nuts, olives, and caper berries. I'm flip-flopping so much. I think the pesto one's my favorite now.
Yeah.
No, these are good as well. These are tasty.
I think for me, those ones and pesto are equal, but I don't like the other ones as much.
I think we should make those.
With pesto?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be good.
The reason why we didn't is because we thought it'd be too strong. Overall, they're pretty good. Not the best food we've had on this channel. Definitely not the best.
No, but it's nice. I'd have them again, but I don't know if they're like, I don't know how mature they were, but like...
They're very easy to make. I don't know why they're so undercooked. They're in that oven for so long.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like, because I would expect that puff pastry would puff up.
Yeah, they didn't puff at all. They didn't brown at all. But they're in there for nearly 30 minutes. And my oven's bad, but it's not that bad. Like, we've cooked plenty of stuff in there before and it's fine, so...
Also, Lolly's looking at the pigeon. That's why her head is so
he's up
focused
there.
on the right.
He's up in the window.
He's very interesting. We're all very interested in him.
Well, we have a Halloween party to go to now, as you might have guessed. So if you like... I'm jumping back into the kitchen because I wasn't happy with how those last ones turned out at all. And I have a few suspicions as to why they didn't work. First of all, maybe the oven just isn't good enough to give that blast of heat to make the rise happen. Or maybe the ingredients were a bit too wet or heavy and really weighed the pastry down. But I'm trying them again. And as you can see, I'm going to make it in two different versions instead. One with pesto, one with tomato, both with all the toppings. And as I rolled these out, I realized that it wasn't because I rolled them in the wrong direction last time. I mean, it was that. But also, I actually need to use the whole sheet. So maybe that's why they didn't puff out, because there wasn't enough pastry layers. But I can't actually do anything about that now because I'm a little bit slow on this recipe for some reason. Anyway, let's chop these up and chuck them into the oven at a higher temperature. The original recipe asked for 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit. So let's throw these in at 200 Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit. And after 35 entire minutes, the top of the tomato is starting to burn there a little bit. So I have to take them out. And to be fair, they are a little bit more puffed out and the cheese looks good, but
They're quite similar, but I would say, look, quite similar too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I've achieved here.
They're really yummy. I'm glad we're having them again.
Okay, I'm back again. This batch was cooked even higher, 210 Celsius, which is about 415 Fahrenheit maybe. These are even slightly better again, but I think I have to call it. The puffiness has eluded me this time. If you make these at home, let me know how you get on. And thank you for watching.